Hey everybody, and welcome to the UpKeep product demonstration. My name is Adam Schechter and I'm a product expert here at UpKeep. Really excited to show you all of the main features of the UpKeep platform. So we're going to get started. Just so you guys know, on the left hand side here, this is the web app, the web application. On the right hand side, this is going to be our mobile application. So I'm going to be doing most of the administrator's functions on the web application, as well as I'm going to be taking care of most of the technician's functions on the mobile application. Reason being is because our technicians are probably going to be out in the field, not wanting to go back to a computer to log their information, and our admins are more likely to be logging information on a computer. That being said, just about everything that you can do on the web application, you can do on the mobile application and vice versa. So I'm going to get started with a quick agenda. We're going to get started with the requester side of the software. How you and your team are going to notify your technician team that something is wrong, something needs to get fixed, a work order needs to be generated. From there, I'm going to show you how to get that work order request approved and actually delegated out to your technician. Once we cover the main reactive work order functions, I'm going to be covering our locations, our assets, and inventory functions. From there, I'll show you how to set up preventative maintenance as well as form templates, and we'll wrap up with the reporting. So let's get started. We're going to get started with the requester side of the software, and there are two main ways that you can log these work order requests. You can log these work order requests through your mobile application, as well as through our mobile application, or what we call our request portal. Now, it depends on what the structure of your team is, but if you have, for example, 50 different requesters that are throughout your facility, throughout different locations, and possibly changing in and out frequently. Maybe you're a nonprofit and you have volunteers coming through and helping out, and they want a way to produce work order requests. That may be a good option. On the other side, a lot of your teams may be very consistent small teams. Maybe you have 8 machine operators that work at each specific machine, and they know that machine well, and they don't want to have to go back to a computer to log a work order. Maybe it's going to be easiest for them to log these work order requests on their mobile phone. So let's get started with the request portal. So once we get to the request portal page, we're going to see these unique links. So this is going to be the link to enable people to log work order requests. We also have an option to for your requesters to log in and view the status of their requests. So they're going to be able to see, they're going to get an email notification when their work order request is approved, and they can go in and type in their email address and find out what the status of that approved work order is at any point in time. So they'll see whether it's open, on hold, in progress, or completed. Additionally, we are able to process work order requests via email. So you can provide an email that everyone can just simply write in a quick work order request and send it off to this email, and it's going to land in your request inbox as an admin. So let's go to this unique link. So you're going to be able to provide this link out to whoever you want to log these work order requests. And this page is fully customizable. We can collect information from form fills, kind of like this request title. So I'm going to write in broken HVAC. where you can free form enter in information. We can also create multiple choice drop downs as well as checkboxes for you to collect that information. The only two things that are consistent and always required are this work order title as well as the email address. We use this email address field to identify who is actually logging this work order request. From there, you can write a description if you'd like, a name. So we're going to enter in all of this information. And once you've completed that, you simply hit the submit request. That's going to send an email notification as well as a push notification to our administrators, let them know that a new work order request has been generated. Alternatively, we can log these work order requests on our mobile phone. So we're going to be moving over to the mobile application here. So if someone wants to get invited as a requester, and requesters are completely free on our platform, you can have as many of these as you'd like. It's very easy to add them. They can go to the iOS application store or the Android application store and download our UpKeep application completely for free. And once they go to the UpKeep application, they can log in and they can go to this request section down here. They're going to be able to hit this add request button and they can log that same work order. This page is also fully customizable. We're going to keep this very simple. We're going to say this is a broken hvac, and we can even add an image by pushing this add image button right here. So they're going to be able to take a picture directly from their phone. So we're going to pull up our hvac event, and not only can we use this photo, we can actually annotate this photo by using this draw feature in the bottom, and we can draw. So our team can draw arrows, they can draw circles to help explain, say, hey, this HVAC is broken, here's where the break is, let's go get this fixed. From there, they hit OK and done, and simply hit add. Now, that's going to send an email notification as well as a push notification to the very same queue that your work order requests have been logged to. So what they can do as an admin, what you can do is you can go to this request section and you can see here in real time, Ira has logged this work order request just a few seconds ago. Just so you know, the account that's logged in on my mobile phone is Ira. Ira is one of our technicians. So, as an admin, I can click on this broken HVAC work order request, and you can do this on your mobile phone as well. You'll be able to view the image that was attached. You can assign this work order to a specific location, which I'll be covering in just a little bit here. You can also assign this to an asset, which I will be covering as well. Let's get this work order assigned to our HVAC unit number 1. So we're going to be able to pull up our full asset list, and we can enter it right here. From there, we can assign a main worker. I'm going to assign Ira. Ira is our top technician. I'm going to assign a due date. Let's set this to be due right now. And just as easy as that, we can decline this request if we don't think that this is something that's that our team should be taking care of. And if you push this decline request, you can actually write a reason here. So you can say, we are already taking care of this. And when you hit that decline request button, that's going to send an email to your requester. Let them know that this work order request was declined. And if you've added a reason, it's going to forward that reason over as well. Alternatively, we can approve this work order and get it assigned out. Just to reiterate, we're assigning this work order over to Ira. Ira is the account that's logged in on our mobile application right now. So let's go ahead and approve this work order. Now, as you can see, we have instantly received a push notification. Our technician has also received an email notification, and they're going to be notified that, hey, I have this new work order that's assigned to me. So, as a technician, we can view this work order, and we can see that image that was attached. We can see the specific asset that has been assigned to you for this work order. Additionally, the location, and you could click into either one of these. So let's click on this air conditioning unit number 1. Now, let's say our technician has never worked on this on this specific asset before. What they can do is they can go in here and they can see all of the additional information. They can see where it's assigned to. They can see asset statuses. Additionally, we can upload files. So I added a file in here. So let's say we have a very complex asset and we need to upload an operating manual. Your guys have been lugging around operating manuals, and they want to reduce the amount of things that they need to bring with them. This is one less thing. We can upload this operating manual. I think I uploaded just an image here, a simple image of a different machine. So, but just as an example, we can upload this via JPEG, via PNG, PDF, or we can even upload MP4 videos. So if you have videos of how you're supposed to take apart this machine to run maintenance on it, you can even upload those in as the files. Additionally, let's say this is a new technician that's never worked on this asset before and he wants to know what's been done in the past. He can click on this work order section, and he can see all of those work orders, everything that's been assigned, and he can actually click into any one of these work orders, and he could see all of that pertinent information, any time, costs, and parts associated with this. And I'm going to show you how to look up this information on the web app in just a little bit here. Additionally, let's say your team has, or this specific asset has very specific parts that are associated with it. What you can do is you can upload all of your parts and inventory on our platform, and you can actually assign parts to specific assets. This is going to allow your technicians to know what parts they're likely going to need when working on a specific asset. So let's go to our parts list right here. And we can see here we have our 10mm bolts assigned to this. So if a work order gets assigned to this, this technician can know, hey, I probably need to go pick up some of these 10mm bolts to use on this specific work order. So let's get working on this work order. Let's say our technician needs 10mm bolts to work on this work order and he doesn't have any on hand. What he can do is he can place this work order on hold to let everyone know that he's acknowledged this work order, but for one reason or another, he can't actually work on this work order. So let's place that status on hold, and additionally, he can write updates. So we can go to our update section right here, and you could write in an update, and you can say something, for example, like, hey, I don't have the right part to complete this job with me. And you can send off that update, and that's going to send an email notification to our admins, as well as that's going to be tracked in the update section of this work order and stored. Now, once we get the proper parts and we're able to start working on this work order, we can push this in progress button. Additionally, if you're looking to log the specific tool time that your technicians are taking on a specific asset, they can use this start timer feature. They could time how long this specific work order is taking. And let's say they need to take a 10-minute break while they're working on this work order. They can simply stop the timer, and when they resume the timer at the end of their break, they are going to be aggregating that total time. So you'll have a full idea of how much time is actually associated, how much wrench time is associated with this work order. Additionally, we can manage our parts on our platform. So what your technicians can do is, let's say they're using 10 millimeter bolts on this work order. We can go to this add parts section. We can push add part. And as you can see, we have our 10 millimeter bolts right here. And we have 155 of them in stock with us on premise. So they can select that 10 millimeter bolt and add that to the work order. From there, they can adjust the quantity by pushing this quantity button. So let's update this to 10. And we can hit update. Now, once our technician has completed that work order and is ready to close it out, they simply go to the top, hit closed, close out the work order, and go to their work order list and move on to their next assigned work order. Now, as you can see, I do quickly want to touch base on our parts and inventory section here. Remember, we had 155 of those 10 millimeter bolts in stock, and we used 10 of them. As you can see here, in real time, the quantity of our inventory has updated to 145. It's also turned red and given us this running low notification, as well as an email notification to our admins. This happened because before we had set this minimum quantity to 150. So as soon as that quantity drops below the minimum quantity, your team is going to be notified and they're going to know that they need to order a new set of that specific part. Now let's cover the locations and assets section of our platform. First off, we have our locations, and our locations are broken out by primary and sub locations. So for example, we have our cutting facility, our full building, and within our cutting facility, we have specific rooms or sub locations. So we have our production room and our printing room. So you're going to be able to break out all of your locations and sub-locations and actually assign your assets to those locations so your technicians will know where they need to go in order to work on that specific asset. Now, let's go to our asset section. So for example, we have our air conditioning unit number 1, and we can start setting up some pertinent information for this air conditioning unit. Additionally, as you can see here, we have assigned this specific asset to room 202. Now it's going to be really important to set up your locations and assets because that's going to roll up into reporting at the end of the day. Now, as I previously covered, we can upload files to specific assets and we can see that full work order history. So on your web application as well, you're going to be able to go to this full work order history, and you could click on any one of these work orders and see that work order table, see what's going on there, see any images that were attached, as well as some pertinent information such as who this was assigned to, the location that this work order took place at, as well as any parts or additional time that has been associated with that specific work order. Now, let's cover how to set up preventative maintenance. Let's say we need to change the air filters in our HVAC once a month. What we can do is we can go to our work order section and click create work order. And we can create a work order title, something as simple as air filter change. So we can log that in right there. From there, we make this preventative maintenance by assigning a recurring schedule. So we have this drop down here, and we have some preset different intervals as to what this specific work order, this preventative maintenance, will be resubmitted at. Now, if it doesn't fit in one of these specific preset times, we can set up a custom schedule. So for example, if you want to take care of a work order every 20 days, you just enter in custom schedule, hit 20, and we have days. You can set this by days, weeks, months, or years. So that being said, let's select every month here. And this work order is going to be resubmit every month. From there, we can assign this to a specific technician. I'm going to assign this to IRA once again, as well as we can assign this to a specific asset. I'm going to assign this to our air conditioning unit number 1. And this is going to function just like a reactive work order. But let's say we have specific items, specific pieces of data that we need to collect or take care of every time we do this air filter change. We can add in what we call our form fields. Now we have two options here. We have form templates and we have form items. Now, our form templates are just a preset group of form items, so let's add in a couple of form items here. Let's say maybe the first thing that we need to do when we replace this air filter is remove the old air filter. So we can write in a subtask and we can say remove old air filter. We can add that in there. Now, let's say we want to do an inspection check on that old air filter. We want to see what a pass flag fail looks like. We can add in another form item and we can change this to inspection check right here. And we can do old air filter status. We can add that in. Now, let's say we want to enter in a number field. For whatever reason, we want to check what the temperature is of that specific HVAC. We can enter in a number field and we can do HVAC temp. And that's going to enable our technicians to write in a number to answer that question. Now, our last option that we're going to cover is our multiple choice dropdown. We can add in whatever we want here as a multiple choice. So let's keep this very simple. Let's add in our HVAC color. And we can add in right here, let's say our first option is red, our second option is white, and our third option is blue. You can add that in there, and then all we need to do is hit this add form items button and create this work order. Now, this is going to function, as I said, exactly like a reactive work order, other than the fact that we've set this up as PM and it's going to be resubmitting every month. Our technician is going to get a notification that this work order has been assigned, or they have a new work order assigned to them. They can go hit OK, update their work order list, and they can see right here we have our air filter change. So let's click into this as a technician. We're going to see all of that pertinent information that we saw on our reactive work order. We can place this work order in progress, start working on this work order, and we've added in our form items here. So our first thing that we need to take care of is our remove old air filter function. Now, once we completed this, we can simply hit complete. And if we select this little note section right here, we can write in a note and we can say, something very simple, such as I have removed this air filter. Now, additionally, right next to that notes section, we have this camera icon. So we can take a picture of that specific image, of that specific air filter. So I don't have any air filters on me, but for example's sake, we're going to take a picture of this HVAC once again and use that photo. Now that's going to be associated with that specific form item, and you're going to be able to see updates. You can log multiple images here. Now, our next task that we need to do is check our old air filter status. So this is going to be a pass flag fail. Let's say that this air filter looks good. We can mark this off as a pass. Next, we have our number item, which is our HVAC temperature. Let's say that this is running at 68 degrees. And then last but not least, we have our multiple choice dropdown. we have our HVAC color. We can add this in here. Let's say our HVAC is blue. So we can enter that information. From there, once we've completed all of our form items, we simply hit closed, close out that work order, and move on to our next work order. Now let's wrap up with reporting. Let's get started with our leaderboard. And our leaderboard is going to be broken up into 3 main tables. It's going to be broken up by our users, which are going to be our technicians. As you can see here, Ira is our top technician with 43 closed work orders, 5 that are in progress, 1 that's on hold, and 16 that are open. Additionally, we're going to have tables to break out our locations as well as our specific assets. Now you can see here our air conditioner unit number 1 is our top asset with 33 closed work orders. Now we can click on any number on this table. So I'm going to click on this 33, and we're going to see that full work order history of all 33 work orders that have been closed on this specific asset. Now you can generate a work order list from anything and query based off of any data that you need, such as work order status, date ranges, locations, or specific technicians. We can also filter by assets, by teams, even specifically who has completed by, who this work order was completed by, or these date ranges. Now, once you generate that query that you'd like to get information on, you can click on any one of those work orders, and you can see all of that work order information, or you can actually export all of this into a CSV. Once we export this to a CSV, all of our work order data is going to be neatly organized in a spreadsheet. So we're going to see information such as work order number. We're going to see any created dates, completed dates. We're going to see what asset this is associated with. Now I made a query for our air conditioner unit number 1, so we're able to see all of these work orders. We're going to be able to see any work order information exported out right here. Now, let's wrap up with our in-depth reporting. So, on our in-depth reporting, we're going to have our admin's most powerful tool. This is going to be our 30,000-foot view of everything that's going on within our organization as far as work orders go. So we're going to see our total work orders. We're going to see everything that is open, in progress, on hold, and closed. Now, we have this fully filterable table right here. So we can drill down. So for example, let's say we want to see work orders that have been completed by Ira, specifically on air conditioner unit number 1. And we can actually stack this on top. We can stack multiple assets, multiple technicians. Let's say all of the letter cutting machine work orders as well. We can even filter by date ranges here. Now I'm going to open this up so we get some more data in the system, and we're going to be able to click on any one of these numbers. So I'm going to click on this 802 right here, and we're going to see some pertinent information such as average time to complete work orders. We're going to see the total hours spent working on those work orders. We're going to see the dollar amount spent working on those work orders, which is derived from the price of the parts that we've included on these work orders. We're also going to see some information on how many of these work orders are planned work orders, also known as preventative maintenance work orders. We're going to see how many of these work orders are unplanned work orders or reactive maintenance work orders. And as we can see here, we have 297 of these work orders. And we're going to see the percentage breakdown of planned to unplanned work orders. That being said, that covers most of the pertinent pieces of features of the software. I really appreciate everyone hanging on and checking out this demo, and excited for you guys to get on the platform. Thanks. Have a great day.